Hey, Jeremy here with you, finishing up the last section on reading and writing the Arabic alphabet. And in the end, I'm actually going to go back to that first letter, which in Arabic they call an alaf. However, it's a little bit tricky because there's actually two elements to the alaf here. You have the line here, which is the ancient alaf, and then this symbol on top, which is called the hamza. Now, in Hebrew, the alaf looks like this, and it marks a glottal stop. And in fact, the old reason for the alaf is a glottal stop. However, Arabs later invented another reason, which we'll get to in a moment, for the use of the alaf, namely to mark long A vowels. So in order to distinguish between a long A and a glottal stop, they added this other symbol called a hamza, and it occurs in various forms shown here. The first one is a big hamza, usually comes at the end of a word. Like wuzara, that means ministers, like ministers in the government. Wuzara, you have that glottal stop which would occur at the end, not connected to anything. When you start a word, it looks like this. We've seen previously the definite article, al, and in reality, when you start a word with a vowel, even in English, there's a glottal stop there, that closing and opening and bursting forth of sound, which is the glottal stop marked here. However, in Arabic, when you have the hamza on top of the alaf, it can make one of two sounds. It can make an A sound or it can make an U sound. When a word starts with a I or I sound, then the hamza comes below, like this. Now, there's a few words in Arabic which have a glottal stop in the middle of the word. We don't have hardly any of these. However, in some of our names, because we've adopted a lot of Hebrew names, Hebrew also does this. For instance, Gabriel, Gabriel, it's a I, glottal stop, eh. In the middle of a word in Arabic, you'll use this or that. And this is actually the Y, but what they've done is they've not put those two dots, and instead they put a hamza on top. And what this means is that you have a I class vowel either before or after, usually after that symbol, and it can connect as well. Just like all the rules for the Y apply to writing this symbol. And then you have this one as well. It's the W, wa sound, can take a glottal stop, and that means that you have a U either before or after that symbol. U sound. Let me clarify by finally getting to our vowels. Arabic has 3 vowels, long and short, for a total of 6. You have A class vowels, I class vowels, and U class vowels. And they actually make multiple different sounds. You have a B with a class vowel here. Now, even though most people transliterate it as an A, most of the time it actually sounds like a U, like in but. Ba. However, depending on the consonant, for instance, if you have a guttural or a velar consonant, often it'll make an A as in father, ah. So, for instance, the number one way to distinguish between the velars and the non-velars, in fact, let's say you have an S, and you wonder, well, is this a sa or a se? Well, the number one way to distinguish that is the quality of the vowel. So this will go sa, 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 and that is a sa or se. Sometimes this even makes an E sound, like in bed. For instance, the word walad, it sounds like an sound, walad. So or more often sometimes but the gutturals and the velars will make a saw sound. Now, this is the short vowel. When we want a long vowel, you add an alaf, and that's that second use of the alaf, marking a long A vowel. Some people will transliterate it like this, but this makes the ah sound like in bat, ba, ba. Our next vowel is a I sound, an I like in bits, bi, bi. Now, a long vowel is, we use a consonant to mark that, just like we do in English with that my name Jeremy. You have B, you use a Y, B-Y, except unlike English it says B. In English you say by, B-Y, but this is B, like in the little insect, bee. Don't forget the dot there. Notice how it's written here. Arabic sometimes does that. In fact, one of the most common words in Arabic is the preposition in, which is pronounced fee, like a fee from the government. And this is how they write it, where that's the line. Now the last vowel is a U-class vowel. Makes an oo sound. You can see the symbol here actually looks like a wow, or a w sound, W. And it is. It's a short oo vowel. When you want to make a long one, you just add the consonant, that W consonant, and you get boo, boo. And that concludes the first section on reading and writing the Arabic alphabet. Thanks for watching.